Chris Jericho likes to call people stupid idiots, but maybe he should call himself that and add his own name to the list of idiots. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. You want to talk about idiotic comments? Chris Jericho wasn't that long ago said that AEW Dynamite would start beating Monday Night Raw in the ratings. Well, flash forward to 2023, August. And not only is Dynamite not beating Raw in the ratings, but they're over more than 1 million behind them in viewership. Where did it all go wrong for AEW? Chris Jericho was telling us that AEW was the best company in the world, that their audience was growing, that they were going to overtake Monday Night Raw, they were going to start beating them week in and week out. At first it was going to be by the odd week, then you were going to continue to see the growth of Dynamite. What's happened to the growth of Dynamite? Well, it's not growing anymore. That's the problem. It's shrinking. It's going the opposite way. It's going downhill. Just like Chris Jericho's career. It's going down, down, down. And the ratings this week went down again. AEW Dynamite drew 846,000 viewers for the 9th of August 2023. And this was a pretty big card by AEW standards. You had Rob Van Dam making his return to the ring, making his debut in terms of in-ring for AEW. You had the Women's World Title main event. You had the Blackpool Combat Club in action. You had Chris Jericho, the Jericho Appreciation Society, taking up a big part of the show, and the reveal if they were going to leave or stay with Jericho. So we can't say that it was a throwaway show. Plus, they are in the build-up to AEW All In, although you wouldn't think it based on what's happening, because if you look at the card, there is no card. A lot of it's not even been announced yet. The big match happening in Wembley, the big show happening in Wembley. What's happening? Not a lot. There's like 2 or 3 matches so far that has been announced. And when you watch Dynamite, when you watch Collision, there's just no sense that they've got a big pay-per-view coming up. Like, what's CM Punk doing? What is all the top guys doing? What is the Blackpool Combat Club doing? What is Kenny Omega doing? We don't know. We do not know. What is Shida doing? We've no idea. We've no idea what anybody's doing at AEW All In. And like I said, with the ratings, they're going down. They're not maintaining an audience. They're not growing an audience. No new viewers are tuning in to watch AEW. They have hit their peak, in my opinion. And what more can they do? CM Punk, they can't bring him back. That was like their ace in the hole card. That was like the best play that they had. That's done. I mean, there's a couple of guys that they haven't brought in yet that they could maybe get to work a match, but there's nothing they can do to increase the ratings longevity-wise. I mean, they could maybe bring in a Goldberg and get a bump for a couple of weeks, but it's not like Goldberg's going to tour and schedule, you know, full time for years. That ain't going to happen. If Goldberg comes in, it's one-off matches. So who is there? For even if they brought The Rock, and I'm not saying that the ratings wouldn't go up, of course they would, but The Rock's not going to be a full-time AEW guy. CM Punk was like the last chance that they had, and they fucking blew it. They came in and everything was horrible, and then they treated him like shit, basically, when they signed it with the Elite. So now AEW is 1 million viewers behind Raw, and it's been caught by NXT, the development brand, the third brand of WWE is on the rise. NXT did its best rating in 2 years this week. AEW now is only about, what, 70,000 in front of NXT? 70,000 exactly, so that is really, really close. Jericho said it was going to start beating Raw. Now Dynamite's 1 million behind Raw and only 70,000 viewers in front of NXT. My prediction is that by the end of the year, I think we'll see NXT beat Dynamite at least once. I think it might beat it at least once, especially if NXT continue to put people from the main roster on that show. Because if you look at Dynamite, I would say their ratings will probably trickle down a bit more, and I think NXT might go up a little bit more. So if they can meet in the middle, if NXT can gain 40,000 viewers between now and Christmas, and AEW can lose 40,000 viewers, then we'll have NXT in front of AEW Dynamite, and Chris Jericho will definitely be going on the list. Anyway, guys, that's it. Dynamite absolutely sucks. The ratings are going downtown. Tony Khan, he needs to get rid of this pen. He needs to stop booking this show. I mean, surely there's people he could bring in. There's writers he could bring in. There's people he could bring in to run AEW. He's not the one to do it. He's had his chance. He's failed. How much more of his daddy's money will he spunk against the wall? Like, Dynamite, AEW as a company It has it should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. If you got someone smart, why couldn't they at least be competitive? Why couldn't they challenge WWE? But for some reason, we're not getting it. We're just getting AEW, and it's like Ring of Honor light. You know, it's like a very, very light indie version with better cameras and shit. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys. Hopefully something changes. Until next time, peace.